We are outside the Bernabeu and we have Josh with us who will be talking to us about the Man City game and about the Bayern semi-finals next week. So what were your feelings when Real Madrid beat Manchester City on penalties at the Etihad Stadium?
Yeah, first of all, I wasn't quite convinced that they could win the game. I think Man City is probably the best team in the world right now, but I don't like them. So I was very happy that Real did it, and I think it's just such a big club. It's the mentality, and you just knew they would win the penalty shootout.
The very fact that you're saying we knew that we would win it, but the fact that the gameplay, the style, the way they played was not perfect, but they had a plan, they stuck to the plan, they knew how to win against the Pep Guardiola team and they did it. So what do you have to say about that, and will that be something they should not be repeating against Bayern Munich?
So I think I watched the interview Rodri from Man City gave, and he said they know how to suffer, and if a team plays this good as Man City, you can't win, but you have to suffer, you have to have the little bit of luck. And I think against Bayern it will be a different game. I think Bayern is not that good, even with the ball. They struggle in the German league a lot. I think it would be they will play better, Real Madrid.
Yeah.
They can play their own style. They can win it by playing football and not by suffering. And I am happy to watch the game. Yeah.
Oh man, definitely. And the very fact that the second leg, the second match is at the Santiago Bernabeu. And because it was the Etihad Stadium away, you can't have your old style of play. At the Bernabeu, they played more, but there's like a 3-3 goals. But does the second leg being at the Bernabeu a thing of advantage for Real Madrid?
Yeah, it's definitely an advantage. It depends on the first game, on the first leg. If they maybe get a draw or even win the game, I think at the Bernabeu, Bayern, they will maybe shit their pants. I don't know if I can say, but
yeah, you can.
Yeah, but I think you can never underestimate Bayern. You always have to respect them. They can always win a game. So even if you win the first leg, you have to be prepared. You have to be composed at the Bernabeu, and then you can win it, I think.
Yeah, man, definitely. And especially a coach like Thomas Tuchel, who almost won at the Bernabeu. He took a 3-0 lead with Chelsea, and then Real Madrid rose from the ashes, like they do at the Bernabeu. And thank you so much for talking to us. It was an honor, man.
For me too, my pleasure.
So Francis, what were your reactions when Real Madrid beat Man City at the Etihad Stadium?
I was actually very happy because I did not want to see Man City go through. Now I wanted Real Madrid to go through, and I think the season they had just had, missing 3 players. Courtois has been out for most of the season. Yeah. Also, David Alaba has been out, and Militao he just came back from injury. So having those adversity and then to be able to come back and still progress through and beat City, who is the number 1 team, let's say, on paper anyway. Everyone thinks they were going to probably repeat and win again for Champions League, but I'm glad to see Real Madrid go through. And I believe now playing Bayern Munich, a fascinating encounter to happen. But I was very pleased to see City go out. I'm sorry, I'm not a huge City fan.
No, I think none of us are City fans in Madrid. Even all the Pep fans, they were in a way sad that we didn't play very attacking football, but we had a plan. Away at home, we had a plan. We were ready to suffer. What did you think about the way Real Madrid played? And the result was more important than the style of play?
The result was more important. Real Madrid is known for playing fancy football anyway. But I think at some point, if you want to go toe-to-toe with Pep Guardiola in his style of play, it may not be in favor for you, especially if your team, as I said, is not at 100%. But they did what they had to do. At the end of the day, you can only beat what's in front of you. So Man City had to go and beat Real Madrid, which they failed to do. A result is a result. Nobody will remember this 2 years from now and say, we didn't play the way we should have played and what have you. And if you look at the amount of time that Real Madrid's won the Champions League, come on, man, at least once. Mourinho would have been proud of the way we played. You went there for business. We did what we had to do, and Real Madrid won. So I'm glad.
Definitely. We were there for the result and the place in the semi-finals. City fans can, lament as much as they want to, but we are in the semi-finals. But talking about the semi-finals, they call it the European Classico, Bayern Munich versus Real Madrid.
Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. That's, of course, two of the great teams in the world, as you know. It's going to be fascinating. I think if I have to predict, looking on form, of course, Real Madrid, they're top of the league. Bayern has struggled a little bit compared to their own standard in the Champions League. I still believe had Arsenal, who Bayern played before going through, had Arsenal had a better striker, they would have possibly beat Bayern Munich. So, having said that, I would put my money on Real Madrid to beat Bayern Munich on both legs. Real Madrid will go through. I don't see Bayern winning this tie.
You don't see Bayern?
No, I don't see Bayern winning.
And the very fact that like the second leg, is at the Santiago Bernabeu. And so the second leg always has produced magical moments. We beat PSG, Chelsea, Man City when we won in 2020.
Even better in the Champions League, it's always an advantage. You want to start away. If Real Madrid, if you can go away, have at least a draw. I'm predicting a win still. But if you have a draw away, I mean, it's a fantastic result because by the time you return back to via Santiago Bernabeu, which we are, of course, standing outside of, fantastic stadium. We just came to see how it's been revamped. But going back to the game, to have a first tie away in Munich and to come back to Madrid, I really think this tie, everything is in favor for Real Madrid to win. I would be very shocked and surprised if Real don't go through. Bayern don't stand a chance. Not this year.
Okay, Bayern don't stand a chance. That's what the feeling is outside the Bernabeu right now. Who will be the key players for Real Madrid? Someone like Jude again, who beat Barcelona.
In terms of goal scoring, Jude is always going to be a threat. He's expected to score goals. But I think overall, for the 90 minutes, you're always going to have to look at Vinicius Junior. Because he's the guy who's the the difference maker in attack. You also have to look at Modric if he does play. I know he plays less minutes now. Toni Kroos, he never gives the ball wrong. I mean, he's fantastic. And one player I've been very happy with for Real Madrid this year, I must say, Rudiger. Rudiger is a beast. He's been fantastic. He's probably one of the top 3 defenders right now in Europe. In my opinion, at least that's my opinion.
I think he's the best defender in Europe.
Absolutely, and he's a fantastic guy to have around the team. He's a winner. He won the Champions League with Chelsea. You now have him, Rudiger, being in the team right now. I also believe the injury to Militao has been a blessing for Rudiger because he's been able to come in. Had Militao not been injured, we wouldn't have probably seen this performance against Man City from Rudiger. And then who knows what would have happened. One more thing I can say, Rudiger has... what's his name? Haaland from Manchester City. He has him in his pocket. Every time Man City plays against Real Madrid, all Ancelotti has to do. Speaking of Ancelotti, I'm going over the place because he's Real Madrid.
No worries. More the better.
Ancelotti is very underrated and unappreciated.
Completely.
Honestly, people talk about the best managers in the world. They talk about Mourinho, Pep Guardiola, and this and this and that. If you sit down and you look at Ancelotti's resume, I mean, people have to put more respect on his name, as they say these days. Because he's, for me, arguably the best football club manager in the world. That's my opinion.
I completely agree, and especially what he has done this year. A 20-year-old Jude Bellingham comes in to replace Karim Benzema in a way. He changes the formation.
That's the thing too. I mean, it's like Benzema never left. When you think about things, because when Benzema was leaving, everyone thought, where are the goals going to come from? But the way Bellingham has been able to come in, gel with the team, and the goals have come from almost everywhere. Everyone's almost chipping in, and Bellingham, of course, it's his first season, so he's getting all the glory. And I'm also seeing by the amount of shirts that are around the display, he seems to be the number 1 shirt seller right now. But fantastic season for Real Madrid. The Premier Liga is theirs to win, and I really believe that they'll go far in the Champions League. Who else is there really to stop them in the Champions League?
I don't know.
PSG. Well, PSG's defense is very leaky. So Dortmund would be a surprise team, but Bayern's not winning this. So it is Real Madrid's trophy to win.
Okay, Real Madrid's Champions League to lose. We win a double, the La Liga and the Champions League.
But Real Madrid is a legendary club. When we speak about the top clubs in the world, Bayern, Barcelona, Real Madrid number 1. And like I said one more time, you guys, I hope you do know because you are the fans, but Carlo Ancelotti is the main man.
Main man. Thank you, man. Thank you so much for talking to us.
My
Pleasure. We are outside the Santiago Bernabeu and we have Sergio with us. Sergio, what were your feelings like when Real Madrid beat Manchester City last week at the Etihad Stadium on penalty shootouts?
Very difficult. The match is Real Madrid. Nuestra competición y al final no es obligación más que nada. Es un fracaso la temporada si no al menos final. Solo pedimos eso aquí.
Sí, estás muy feliz que somos en una semifinal otra vez y tienes ganas para un final.
La decimoquinta y ganarla en Londres, ¿no? Que es la cuna del fútbol y y sería bonito también ganarla allí contra Mbappé, si puede ser posible.
Sí, por supuesto, dedos cruzados contra Mbappé sería un sueño y después él vienes aquí para jugar en Bernabéu, la mejor.
Y después 16, 17...
Bien, hasta 20.
Sí, si no, no nos vamos a cansar nunca.
Sí, obviamente. ¿Y cómo te encuentras antes del partido contra Bayern de Múnich en la semana que viene en la semifinal?
A ver, veo al Bayern flojo ahora, muy flojo en comparación a otras temporadas, pero bueno, al final siempre es un equipo difícil. Entonces, alemanes, pero no creo que sea rival. Y más después del partido, el cuarto de final, la eliminatoria pasada.
Claro. Pero la mejor cosa es que la vuelta es en el Bernabéu. Es muy importante.
Sí, vamos, incluso si perdemos allí 5-0, venimos aquí y estamos tranquilos, porque aquí apretamos mucho siempre y creo que los propios jugadores lo dicen, ¿no? Que lo sienten y no, la verdad es que no veo rival aquí, y menos aquí, para el Madrid, para este Madrid, ni en el Bernabéu, ni allí, pero vamos que...
Sí, eso es la mejor palabra. No tenemos un rival aquí en el Bernabéu. Muchas gracias, Sergio. Muchas gracias.
A vosotros.